So let's talk about this. 74% of Americans are stressed out about finances. Are we on the verge of a crisis?
I don't think we are, but since we're speaking about presidents, I think it would behoove you to maybe get together with some guys that can teach the United States how to win in the stock market every single week. I don't think we're there on a crisis, but the fact that even people that make $175,000 to $200,000 a year are considering themselves feeling like they're poor, we need to find a way to fix that problem really quickly. I know that they're supposed to cut rates, but when the average car payment is now 750, most cars are costing 70 grand and up. Rent is unaffordable. Shout out to my parents. Daycare costs, childcare, tuition for schools are higher than ever. We need to begin to find a way to fix this before this gets out of hand, because I haven't felt most people have this kind of despair in a long time. Like, things even got politically so bad at one point, like Tea Party members and Black Lives Matter members were thinking of getting together to rally together. You know what kind of financial duress it would take for like Umar and Alex Jones to like get along and be like, bro, we need to team up. Like, it's unrest at the highest level. So I don't think we're there at a crisis level yet. Um, but I'm interested to see what the Christmas shopping season looks like, how retailers are affected. That will give us a better sign. But if this isn't fixed in 2 or 3 years, we could see some trouble amongst the economy for sure. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's it's definitely a different world that we live in. Like you said, average car payment is like $700 now.
Insane.
And yeah, just put something on Instagram that millennials are saying that you need at least $500,000 a year um, to feel comfortable as a millennial.
Hmm.
And
That's a lot of pressure. I thought the $500 date was pressure. You got to make
Baby.
500,000 a year. Oh, baby.
That's tough.
yeah, so I think that AI, everything is just going to accelerate. The rich are going to get richer, and the poor are going to get poor, and you're going to see the wealth gap, just grow. And is what we're seeing right now. Is a lot of people making a lot of money, and then there's a lot of people that are struggling. So as people are making more money, that's only going to continue to grow, and the people that are struggling will probably continue to struggle even more.
Yeah.
With replacements of jobs and different things of that nature. So it's going to be probably a difficult situation for a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, education is the key. Tuning into shows like this, reading, it's the only thing, right? I feel like financial crisis in our communities, that's been every year,
It's
right?
been
Like
every year for real.
every year feels like a financial crisis because we've been in survival mode for so long. And with
But
education,
it's crossover, not to cut you off, to other races now. They're feeling our
right?
plight now.
If- yeah, I mean, we have a certain set of skills to be in these conditions and make good of it and try to figure ways out. And every
Yeah.
now and then you'll start to see people come out of it. But education is the great equalizer. It's the thing that can change our circumstance. It can change everybody's circumstance to a certain extent. So it doesn't matter which demographic or what ethnic background you're from. If education is part of the daily diet, that can help alleviate some of that distress when it comes to finance. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, educate yourself in a multitude of ways, not just podcasts. Read, put yourself in networks with people who have brilliant ideas and have like minds. It's
You
the
got
only way. It really is the only
all
way.
of it. Combination. Like, my shout out to my guy. He moving. Him and his girl went through something, so he got to find another place. And he looking. He like, yo, I'm gonna put down 15, 16,000 for just in deposit
Mm,
for a 2 bedroom in New York. I'm like, hold your head, everybody in New York. What?
yeah, I think I sent you that article, right? It was that was in Business Insider. We're talking about there's a large percent of people who are living in homes but are separated because they can't afford to leave the partner, and so they're just cohabiting in the same place, even though they're not together because financially they can't afford to leave each other, which is a real situation.
Boy, them been some long sit in the car days. Boy, you can't even go. Woo, baby. Yeah, baby, I was
Overtime
listening
on
to Market Mondays. That's why I was in the car so long. That's tough.
overtime on top of overtime. Yeah, that's tough.
tough.
But this is the reality for some people, man. So
yeah. Also, too, the other side of it, I'm not going to do the Kim Kardashian, but this is why we get up every day and work hard. Like, hey, I'll see me popping out more. Hey, let me go network, shake hands. Let me build unity. Cool. Got off the plane. Shout out to JR. Shout out to Jonathan. One saw the boy real quick. Let me go. I'm out here shaking hands, kissing babies. Combination. You need all of it. Networking, you better go tune into T Grizzly, see how you get $100 grand a month off GTA. Go listen to the episode how to build the merch, get your Invest Fest tickets. You got to do everything right now as an entrepreneur to make sure that you'll be okay and invest for the long term.
So how do we find a stock like Nvidia for 2024?
Great question. Somebody on Twitter asked me this, and the true answer is it's all the boring things that pays the highest dividend. Like, number one, I would go look at everything that A16Z is invested in, not just because Chris was on the show, but I would look at the top 3 venture capital firms, literally print out their entire portfolio, what they're invested in, see the ones that can have the biggest impacts from every sector. I think in the next 10 years, Anduril, if they're not acquired by Northrop or Lockheed, they'll probably be one of the biggest defense companies of all time. So if they become available to IPO, I would love to invest in. SpaceX, we've talked about. Starlink, we've talked about. You have to go look at the new crop. So, like when they do the freshman XXL cover, this is the investor's version of that. Go to Andreessen Horowitz, go see which is coming next, what impact they'll have. And also, too, like in that defense and military space, the margins are a lot higher, a lot less competition, a lot more intellectual property that you cannot copy. So, I'm normally not excited about the defense space, but they're a combination of tech and defense. So I do definitely have my sights set on that company. But also, too, the biggest players and the next NVIDIA will probably be invested in by Microsoft or Apple or Google. Mm-hmm. If you're buying any of the big 3, you're going to have exposure to it anyway. The biggest companies on earth right now have turned themselves into index funds. You don't think with all, like, okay, if I keep saying Apple and Microsoft, you don't think Satya doesn't know how much value he brings to Vanguard and BlackRock ETFs? They're like, let's just acquire the companies and build our own index. And that's what everyone is doing. I was talking to Joe. Hey, what's up with the Apple thing? He was like, if you bring a project to Apple, they now want you to bring 4 shows over there, index, and they get the 35% on the back end for 4 years. Legal mafia, legal cartel. So invest in Apple, Microsoft, Google. They'll invest in the biggest companies, but to find out which company will be next, go look at Andreessen Horowitz, Kleiner Perkins, and see what they're investing in. That's the easy way to get a heads up.